OSRC News at 7. Governor Aiyedatiwa approves 350 million naira for 2025 scholarship and bursary payment. 2027 general elections spark debates over Nigeria's unity. Obasanjo blames malaria death among children on poor leadership. And from the foreign scene, Ghana sacks Chief Justice over allegations of public funds misuse. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on the news at 7 on OSRC television. My name is Oyewumi Ayinigbara. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has approved the sum of 350 million naira as payment for the 2025 scholarship and bursary for students of Ondo State origin in higher institutions across the country. The payment covers 5 different categories of scholarship, including medical student, law student, and student with disabilities. The 350 million naira approved by the governor for about 12,000 students is an improvement on that of last year, in which a sum of 335 million naira was disbursed to 11,200 students. The approval for the 2025 scholarship and bursary is coming 2 weeks after the Ondo State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission commenced payment of the 2023-2024 scholarship and bursary scheme from its mandate areas benefiting. Governor Aiyedatiwa said his administration recognizes education as the cornerstone of development, stressing that it is the key to unlocking the potential of young people. The continuous voter registration exercise progresses across the country, with Ondo State recording more than 3,800 applicants for various reasons. Speaking with OSRC, Ondo State Resident Electoral Commissioner Oluwatoyin Babalola described the response so far as impressive. Omoniola Ngbeji reports.
The continuous voter registration exercise commenced nationwide on the 18th of August 2025 with the online phase, while the physical registration started on the 25th of the same month. In Ondo State, the exercise is ongoing across the 18 local government areas and at the state head office in Akure, the state capital. So far, more than 3,800 applicants have registered for the exercise in different categories. According to the Resident Electoral Commission, Mrs. Oluwatoyin Babalola, the process has been peaceful, with residents turning out in good numbers. Babalola also explained why the state currently has the lowest figure in the southwest, attributing it to a similar registration exercise conducted last year, which, according to her, recorded significant success.
We don't have any technical problem for now, because in each local government we trained 4 personnel who can attend to any technical problem. Apart from that, we have 3 staff from the headquarters that came around for the training, and they are still around to provide technical support. But generally, we have not recorded any technical problem. The response is impressive, and we will continue with our sensitization. We are going everywhere for sensitization on a regular basis. Even though this exercise is going on in all our local offices, they go to the community leaders, they go to the markets, they carry microphone, they go around the towns just to sensitize eligible citizens and persons that have one complaint or the other to come out and take advantage of this continuous registration exercise.
Some applicants also shared their experiences, commending the smooth and orderly process.
Fine. Yes, it was okay. They are up to the task. They are doing the work well.
The one now, some of the office lawyer, what they have been shebogwe, what they fill the form, sign, what they mwasibi, what they attend to me, what they take by paper to me, which family.
The exercise is a vital step towards ensuring citizens' active participation in the upcoming elections, and all eligible voters are encouraged to take advantage of the opportunity. Omoriola Ngbeji, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, as Nigeria prepares for the 2027 general elections, questions linger over the country's level of preparedness for the polls. In an interface with Osrc, All Progressives Congress stalwart Olumuyiwa Adu noted that while the nation is making progress, ethnic and regional sentiment remains strong and must be addressed. Blessing Obe Asmo.
With the 2027 general elections drawing nearer, conversations about Nigerians' readiness continue to dominate public discourse. While some believe the country is on the right track, others warn that deep-seated ethnic divisions and insecurity could undermine progress, insisting that more deliberate efforts are needed. Speaking with Osrc, APC chieftain Olumuyiwa Adu acknowledged the strides made so far, but stressed that tribal bigotry remains a major concern.
Nobody wants to see whether you are even good enough to provide that leadership in this country or at any level. Everybody is looking at where you come from, whether you are doing it well or not. Go to the Southeast now, ask them. Their governors may appreciate good things, they may understand because they are part of the high echelon system. But how about the followers? Are they thinking aloud? You ask an average man over there, he will tell you, hey, I want the power to go to this area so that it can quickly come to us. These are some of the things we see. For now, I think we are moving in the right direction, if only we can be patient. But if I say that, what will be the view of others? Because I have numerous grounds to say that we are moving in the right direction.
He also identified insecurity as a major obstacle, citing recurring clashes between farmers and herders. Adu commended the federal government for creating a ministry dedicated to resolving herder-to-farmer conflicts, but emphasized the need for states to step up with practical measures for lasting peace.
We've gone abroad, we see how they keep cows. We're even making milk from some of them. So what we need to do at state level is for everybody now to begin to think about, okay, where can we keep these people? Let's take tractors to the place, clear the area, build stables and everything. Tell them to, then they'll be able to move there. Encourage people to start producing cow foods like it used to be. So, and so many that I can refer to. Why I actually raise this is because now that alone is making an average fool animal now to see any other person around him as his enemy. And that's why we're having a lot of insecurity, in addition to some of these minerals that have been illegally mined and stuff. But what I'm saying is that if that is not part of the issue, maybe that would have reduced or eventually eliminated some of the security problems we have in this country. And so on and so forth.
As Nigeria looks towards 2027, discussions persist on transcending ethnic and regional divides to forge a stronger, more united nation beyond mere political reforms. Blessing Obe, Osrc News.
You're still on to Osrc News at 7, and after the break, Obasanjo blames malaria death among children on poor leadership. Please to join us for this and more.
On the 11th of November, I went to the Nigerian High Commission to sort out my passport. I did my biometrics and everything. And guess what? 48 hours later, at 6 minutes past 11 on the 13th of November, I have one passport.
Tireless effort on renovation and rejigging the Ministry of Interior, passports issuance, lessen the frustration of Nigerian homes and abroad on the time that has been taken. You've created a change in the dynamic and the game.
Grassroots Movement for Tinubu GMT, Ondo State Chapter. GMT, in God we trust.
The MTN Mega Billion promo is here. Dial star 900 hash and recharge 100 naira or more before 5 p.m. and you could be a millionaire. At 7 p.m., all cash prizes will be paid directly into your Momo account. Dial star 900 hash. Start recharging now and stand a chance to win big in the MTN Mega Billion promo.
Oh, remember how mom used to wake up before everybody to make breakfast, iron our uniform? I've surprised that woman with something special.
Reward your mom with a trip to Zanzibar in the 2025 Three Crowns Mom of the Year competition. Write a note using each letter in your mom's name and submit with any of these on our website or at any of our collection centers. T's and C's apply. 3 Crowns Milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
Go.
Thank you very much for rejoining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel Osrc TV Ondo. The Ondo State Radio Vision Corporation Osrc has reiterated its dedication to public service broadcasting and fostering collaboration with information sector stakeholders. Director General Kenneth Odushola Stevenson restated this commitment during a familiarization visit by members of the Ondo State House of Assembly Committee on Information. The visits provided an opportunity for closer engagement between Osrc and the House Committee to advance shared goals in the information and broadcasting sectors. House of Assembly correspondent Omoshinela Adesoyajayi reports.
In a bid to strengthen collaboration and evaluate the operations of state-owned media, the Ondo State House of Assembly Committee on Information conducted a familiarization visit to the OSRC complex. Leading the delegation, Committee Chairman Olatunji Fabiyi explained that the visit aimed to gain insight into the challenges and opportunities facing the media organization in fulfilling its mandates.
Of the state. This is the station that can propagate the state. If we are spending huge amount of money at DSTV, CCTV, TVC and these channels, we know we are part and parcel of government. We know the amount they took in whatever program we hear with them, just once, we know the amount it takes us. Why can't we dissipate half of the energy in our own station and we'll be able to get better results?
He lauded the governor for appointing the right person to the position. Welcoming the lawmakers, Director General Kenneth Odushola Stevenson highlighted some achievements of the current administration in revitalizing the media empire and commended the committee for its interest and proactive engagements.
The OSR Media Group wishes to use this medium to appreciate the House Committee on Information and by extension the Ondo State House of Assembly for your support always and pledge to use the instrument of the broadcast infrastructure to always propagate the activities of the House, being the elected representative of the people. So, and some of our activities here are the ones that will be able to propagate your actions and your activities. We request that you please look into our challenges, don't look into the good things we have done. Look at the challenges and see how you can assist us.
He said that the corporation remains committed to professionalism in broadcasting and stressed the importance of support from the legislature to improve infrastructure and develop quality content.
But what we can assure you is that we are going to cry to Mr. Governor to increase the performance in terms of releases and our requests. So while we also appealing to you to also, you've come, you've seen, and I don't want to say you've conquered, but you have seen. So we are expecting you during your interaction with Mr. Governor on these agencies and MDAs.
Other committee members applauded the recent development at Osrc and commended the governor for fulfilling his promises to the corporation. They urged Odushola Stevenson to continue leveraging his vast experience to drive further progress. The committee then visited Oweno Press, publisher of the Hope newspaper, where it reaffirmed its commitment to supporting the media organization in expanding its capacity and reach. Omoshiliola Adesoye Ajayi, Osrc News.
Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has condemned continued death of children from preventable diseases such as malaria in Nigeria, and described it a profound failure of leadership and empathy in the era of artificial intelligence and space exploration. Obasanjo, whose opinion came to the fore in Abuja, maintained that it was unacceptable that millions of Nigerians still trek long distances to access basic health care decades after independence. The former president said health care was never intended to be a privilege for the wealthy or urban resident, but a right accessible to every Nigerian. He urged federal and state governments to embrace and ensure that qualitative health care is delivered to all Nigerians. In the meantime, the federal government says it will soon approach the National Assembly to seek increase in allocations to the Basic Health Care Provisions Fund from the current 1% of consolidated revenue to at least 2%. It explained that one of the key deliverables of Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare under the Presidential Performance Bond is to enroll at least 44 million Nigerians into the National Health Insurance by 2030. The move comes just as the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Mohammed Pate, said the present administration is determined to put an end to out-of-pocket expenditure on health care by Nigerians. Speaking at the National Health Financing Policy Dialogue in Abuja, Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Isiaq Adekunle Salako, said the federal government is committed to the evolution of legislations, regulations, and policies targeted at removing the burden of healthcare expenditure on individuals. Salako commended President Bola Tinubu for directing the implementation of several interconnected policies to achieve universal health coverage and protect vulnerable Nigerians. And now the United Nations Children's Fund has commenced a 2-day regional workshop in Kano to equip journalists with the skills and ethical principles required for reporting stories involving children. The workshop drew participants from 9 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Head of UNICEF's Kano Field Office, Rahama Mohammed, said journalists must place the best interest of children above sensationalism. He warned against publishing names, photographs, or other identifying details of children affected by violence, conflict, or abuse, noting that such reporting could re-traumatize victims, stigmatize families, and inflict long-lasting damage. Mohammed thus urged journalists to support ongoing efforts to enforce laws protecting children's rights, warning that individuals posting harmful content about children online could face prosecution. We'll go on another commercial break. When we return, we'll bring you more stories. Please stay.
The MTN Mega Billion promo is here. Dial star 900 hash and recharge 100 naira or more before 5 p.m. and you could be a millionaire. At 7 p.m., all cash prizes will be paid directly into your Momo account. Dial star 900 hash. Start recharging now and stand a chance to win big in the MTN Mega Billion promo.
Oh, remember how mom used to wake up before everybody to make breakfast, iron our uniform? I'm surprised that woman with something special.
Reward your mom with a trip to Zanzibar in the 2025 Three Crowns Mom of the Year competition. Write a note using each letter in your mom's name and submit with any of these on our website or at any of our collection centers. T's and C's apply. 3 Crowns Milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
Go.
Glad to have you back. Well over 36,000 Nigerians applied for asylum in foreign countries in 2024, according to data obtained from the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. Canada, Italy, and the United Kingdom emerged the top destinations for Nigerian asylum seekers in that year. Canada received the largest number of Nigerian applicants with 13,222 asylum claims, but only 2,196 were approved. The United Kingdom, a traditional migration destination for Nigerians seeking work and study opportunities, approved just 446 applications out of 2,841. The data shows that 74% of applications were rejected, with the highest approval rates recorded in Chad and Tunisia. Ghana's President John Mahama has fired the country's Chief Justice, Gertrude Tokorono, following a recommendation by an inquiry. She had been on suspension since April after complaints were lodged against her in petitions by 3 individuals. Our president-appointed commission then found that grounds of stated misbehavior had been established and recommended her removal from office. Ms. Tokorono has dismissed the allegations as unfounded and politically motivated. The presidency said Mahama was required to act in accordance with the committee's recommendations, but critics fear it set a warring precedent and undermines judicial independence. Brazil former President Jair Bolsonaro faces an unprecedented trial, accused of orchestrating a failed coup after losing his 2022 re-election bid. A panel of 5 judges will determine the fate of Bolsonaro and several high-ranking military officials, marking the first time in Brazil history that a former president could be imprisoned for such charges. The trial stems from the January 8, 2023 storming of government buildings by Bolsonaro's supporters, an event that echoed the U.S. Capitol attack 2 years prior. The case has drawn international attention, with U.S. President Donald Trump imposing tariffs on Brazilian imports in protest of what he calls a witch hunt. We bring you the report.
The Supreme Court has been fenced off as Brazil faces an unprecedented trial. Over the next few days, a panel of 5 judges will decide the fate of former right-wing President Jair Bolsonaro, who is accused of orchestrating a failed coup after losing his re-election bid to Louisiana. Had it succeeded, it would have been Brazil's first coup since 1964, which marked the beginning of a 2-decade-long dictatorship that many here still remember.
This is the very first time in Brazil where very high-ranked military officials can be imprisoned, as well as the former president Jair Bolsonaro.
On January 8, 2023, Bolsonaro supporters stormed the Supreme Court, Congress, and the presidential palace, calling on the military to oust Lula, who had taken office just a week earlier. Although Bolsonaro was in the United States at the time, critics say he had long been undermining Brazil's democracy. He repeatedly made unfounded claims that the voting system was easily rigged and held meetings with top military leaders to discuss constitutional options to remain in power if he lost the 2022 elections. According to the Federal Police, the coup only failed because the Army and Air Force commanders refused to support it. Now, Bolsonaro is on trial alongside his Navy commander, 4 other senior military officials, a congressman, and a former justice minister. The former president is facing 5 criminal charges, including participation in an armed criminal organization and a violent attempt to overthrow Brazil's 40-year-old democracy. He denies all the accusations. The American embassy is a 10-minute drive from Bolsonaro's residence in Brasilia, and U.S. President Donald Trump has not only shown strong interest in the trial, he has openly sided with Bolsonaro, his political ally and long-time admirer. In July, Trump imposed 50% tariff on Brazilian imports, calling the trial a witch hunt and demanding it be stopped immediately. Washington also sanctioned Supreme Court Justice Alexandre Moraes, the trial's rapper. Unlike Trump, who was re-elected, Bolsonaro has already been banned from running from office until 2030 and could now be sentenced to up to 40 years in prison.
And now sports. The number of players in the Super Eagles camp has increased to 13 as Nigeria intensifies preparations for the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Rwanda and South Africa. This follows the arrival of 9 more players at the team's camp in Ehot's Ukwene. The new arrivals include Alex Iwobi, Calvin Bassey, Fisayo Dele Bashiru, Olaino, Bright Osai Samuel, Moses Simon, Chidozie Nwazem, Adebayo Adeleye, and Benjamin Fredericks. They joined the quartet of William Trost Ekong, Amas Abasoge, Felix Agu, and Raphael Oyedika, who checked into camp on Monday. Nigeria will host Rwanda on Friday at the Gosula Pabio International Stadium in Uyo. They will then travel to Bloemfontein to face South Africa on Monday. And with that sports story, we conclude the news tonight. But before we go, a quick look at the top stories. We told you that towards its recognition of education as a cornerstone of development, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has approved the sum of 350 million naira for the 2025 scholarship and bursary payment for students of understate origin in higher institutions across the country. All Progressives Congress stalwart Olumuyiwa says as Nigeria is making progress, ethnic and regional sentiments remain profound challenges which must be addressed before next general elections in 2027. And we also told you the former President Olusegun Obasanjo has aped the blame of continued death of children from preventable diseases in Nigeria, profound failure of leadership. And from the foreign, saying Ghana President John Mahama has fired the country's Chief Justice Gertrude Tokorono after she was found guilty of misappropriating funds. And that's the news tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Good evening.
Go.